Hello everyone, I'm Hacker. Welcome to my Tarot account channel. This time our main topic is about the second half of this year. You definitely will. Here are today's three-way indicator cards. Water reverse dispersal and a brief three-way indicator card. Touch the body and choose the group you feel most between
Regardless
men
of
and
the
women.
connection, it can also
Post your
be
choice in the
selected.
comments to further strengthen your connection with the cards. After choosing, you can enter different areas through dual channels to read your information. First is Group 1. What do you think you will definitely achieve in the second half of this year? As the corresponding information for this group, let's first look at what you were doing in the first half of the year. Some people in this group had some pretty big celebrations in the first half of the year. Then some people in this group broke up in the first half of the year, including it could be a very good friend who really shares your ideals or a relationship with someone, or accepting a good safety status. These are all there. This group has a relatively good encounter in the first half of the year, a person who may be terrible in feelings. Then take another look. Then this group went to all sorts of places in the first half of the year. It may be a business trip, or it may be a personal outing. It may also be last week, and this group feels that you will, in the first half of the year, send some messages about the ship, including the cheat times of various chat software. It may take longer than before, and some people have started to get involved in the fields of news dissemination and interaction in the first half of the year. Let's continue to look.
Feeling again for the first half of this
But
year.
some people, you might have accomplished some work through collaboration, or achieved a short-term goal with someone's help. A minority might have received some less than ideal news in the first half of the year. Then what will this group achieve in the second half of this year? This set has one for the first half of the year that you've dealt with for a long time without handling, or a less than ideal situation could reach a conclusion in the second half of the year. An end could be a state, or possibly a certain day. The unfavorable situation will end. Specifically, some unfinished tasks from the first half of the year will be resolved smoothly and quickly in the second half. Let's look at this group again. Another one is the upright position of the Queen of Swords. In the second half of this group, you will decisively complete some tasks, regardless of your expression ability or memory in the second half of this group, including, oh, my thoughts might still. The luck related to calculations and personal mental flexibility will greatly improve. So if you want to learn something in the second half of this year, it will become simpler and easier. Additionally, the relationship with the female elders at home will improve in the second half of the year. If you are a man, there is a chance of failure in the second half of the year. Then continue to look. This group label is also good. It is a star brand sweet spot. Although it is a sweet spot, it is actually a kind of falling into reality, because the star is originally hanging in the sky. If you are involved in the arts, you might manifest some of your ideas and creations in reality, including this set that will reach many people. Don't forget your past ideals and plans. It's a goal, it's possible. You might think it's out of reach and very uncertain, but in the second half of the year it will fall into reality, from the stars in the sky to the reachable things in your hand. So this part is quite novel or fun. There is a kind of ideal that becomes reality, which is fundamental. That's all the content. Hope it can help you plan UP's simple videos. You can like and follow to avoid confusion. Next is the second set. In the second half of this year, what will you definitely achieve? Let's first look at what you did in the first half of this year, as information corresponds. Let's take a look. This group is the secret of a birthmark. If it's half a year left, it should be clear. A certain relationship, it might be over for you. Or you've clearly left some people who you think are not so good relationships, and then it will take you one step further. Although it's about leaving, it also involves repeating the same mistakes. So during the first half of the year, even if there's a feeling of departure, some people might break up, but at the same time, there will be some experiences. Review or lose face, then take another look. Or it might be that some old types start to change suddenly. This set also gave me a picture of biological positioning
feel
in the
this
first half of the vintage game.
My
At
personal
the same
opinion
time,
is
it will also cause more emotional ups and downs in the first half of this group. When the emotions collapse, there will be quite a lot. Next one, this group in the first half of the year might be individuals. The drive, positivity, and momentum may not be that strong. It may be a lot smaller. But when it comes to reality, it might be spring, autumn, summer, and winter, not so active and creative, and then continue to watch. See you in the next show. There is also a lover's card in this group. You may be talking about some long distance relationships. You may be close friends with someone. This kind of long-term separation, few gatherings and more departures. And then there is a part, as mentioned earlier, there may be some emotional obstacles, including this group. Your interpersonal relationship in the first half of the year may be fairly tense. The next thing is that the group may stay up late, or the inversion of work and rest in the first half of the year will be more serious, and a part of it is in foreign countries. In addition, this group may have the interaction or ambiguity between two people of the opposite sex is a small part, maybe a bit blind in the first half of the year.
And now let's see what you will achieve in the second half of the year.
The first move, the People's Liberation Army has good energy. The first half of the year feels like the main line is emotion. The second half of the year, a larger realization is also emotional. The political commissar of the Sino-US negotiations, there will be a person of the opposite sex showing favor to you directly in the second half of this group. If this group is reoriented, then you can just cope with it. And this group, in fact, look up for the rest of the year. Start a good relationship, and the person you meet is a character who doesn't travel. And then continue to see what kind of things are there. In this group, there will definitely be some actresses who will leave when they say in the second half of the year. The second half might teach you to move houses in the ring, which is relatively good. And some people will get help from high-ranking individuals. You could video call your direct leader, including your superiors. The department related to vision will become smoother. Some people will directly or indirectly help you. Let's take a look at what comes next. They are what they want to achieve. This group gives a victory cup of wine. This energy will be very good. Although this group is biased towards feelings, the water element given is a famous comparison. In the second half of the year, your interpersonal relationships will improve under the state of something like a financier or emotional financier. On one hand, we see that this group will definitely welcome beaches in the second half of the year and not just one. Let's go online for more facts. Also, in the second half of this year, whether it's your friends or even those who can directly give you likes, their number will increase. The second half of the year will be a good time for the self-media industry. According to the reviews you receive, your reputation will improve. And this group also had a bountiful harvest feeling in the second half of the year. So in both career and interpersonal aspects, it can be said that both sides are in a pretty good state. The above is the overall content. Hope it can help you like UP's kit video. You can like and support. Don't forget to follow. Finally, these three groups, what will you achieve in the second half of the year? As a quirky teammate, let's see what this group did in the first half of the year. One is out. What's given to this group is the position of a hanging man card. This group accomplished a lot in the first half of the year compared to the previous year. You've made a lot of progress, perhaps ending a certain phase or state. Some people might be from the previous state of lying flat. The first half of the year has gradually started to move or do many things. But the most important point of this group is that in the first half of the year, you begin to slowly refuse. The kidnapping is similar to what I said. This group had a change in the first half of the year. It seemed to fall like a human card, might be self-sacrificing, but in the first half of the year, you have to do more by yourself. Generally, you might not.
Say it a few times and it will be rejected. Let's see.
There was a big pressure in the city and the legislature, which ended in the first half of the year. It could be that the pressure or task of a certain stage of this group has now been completed, and it might be a risk at the moment. In the spare time like this, and then some people might have made a big change to their own style in the first half of the year, including possibly having a big tongue twister, that is throwing things. There are also some... Is there any other information? In this group, there is an additional healthcare person, so in this group, the interpersonal relationships in the first half of the year may be better. Especially when facing people close to you. The relationship may become not so close, a bit distant, or there may be some major contradictions between you, including that some people may in the first half of this year will be more than before. For example, the mood has obviously risen and fallen last year. Good Jung is very serious at this moment, want to change more, also want to give him a piece of information. And then some people may start to go in the first half of the year. Or if you've enjoyed a drenching rain, let's see what the comparative information tells us about what you're bound to achieve in the second half of the year. First and foremost is health is like nothing else. In this group, you will be with the little people around you, including those you want to stay away from now. Perhaps the not-so-good group, bringing you not-so-good emotions, will have a complete separation or division in the second half of the year. This card might mean there were perhaps some good times in the past. It seems more hypocritical, or it's not a very real relationship. You will have a clear milestone where you can jump directly into different levels. This might be seen as an unexpected opportunity, or this group could shift towards side businesses. So this group has a great chance to make a big leap in the second half of the year. Let's see what other information there is.
I gave him a hot girl with a temperance
Your
card.
health will improve in the second half of this year. If anyone from this group might be staying up late or losing a lot of hair, or perhaps not in their ideal physical shape, including if they're breaking a sweat before going to bed. In the second half of the year, you can achieve a lot while also dedicating time to self-improvement in this group. You will receive a good result for your hard work. Let's see what else this group can achieve. This energy is good. It's a positive judgment. What news is this group waiting for, and what good results are they expecting? For example, this group is waiting for some results or welcoming some big tests, interviews, anything related to tests. This group, like annual examination luck or interview luck, is not drunk. So these can also be grasped. If you want to learn something or obtain any certification in the second half of the year, this will be a rather smooth situation. Basically, you can have.
There's that
If you need luck bonus, let this group achieve the ideal expectations. That's all about this group. I hope it can help you. Remember to subscribe to my channel. You can like and support. If you need one-on-one help, you can also contact me separately.